Hey guys, Zach Sarkar from Reaching Excellence, and in this video I'm going to talk about how to handle stress as an entrepreneur. Now if you're new here at Reaching Excellence, one of the things we do is we help people to break through the upper limits so they can reach excellence in both their business and personal life. And if you know my background, I've been an entrepreneur for over 30 years. I've been there, got the t-shirt, had the good, the bad, the ugly. I've been in property for 22 years. I've also been in the M&A space. I've been mentoring people for nearly 25 years now. And more recently, I've moved into the private equity space. Now, look, one of the things that I want to do is talk about how to handle stress, because if you're going to get into business and entrepreneurship, it's stressful. Like, let's be honest about it, okay? It's not easy. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. So one of the things I've seen is that the most successful entrepreneurs have got a way of handling stress that makes it almost seem easy. But let's break this down so we can understand what stress is and also how we shift that. So the thing is this, right? What people are not really aware of is stress is really another word for fear. So you could be concerned, worried, right the way up to like having a panic attack about things. Stress is just another word for fear. So the psychology behind this is what causes fear. It's our thought process. So it might be worrying about, hey, look, we're not going to get enough, we haven't got enough contracts in, we're not going to make our expenditure, we're not going to make payroll this month, or, we've got some bills or VAT bills looming. You've got all these things that create uncertainty. And when we start to think about those things and we don't have a solution for them, that's what creates the stress and creates the fear. The fear is we're not going to have the money, we're not going to get things done, people aren't going to turn up, we're going to lose contracts. It's always fear-based. So if we can shift from a place of fear to a place of faith, it then allows us to come out of that stress and actually be more resourceful. Because here's the problem, when we get stressed, what happens is cortisol, the minute it goes into your bloodstream, literally makes us stupid. It shuts down like the cognitive functions. Literally, our higher consciousness as human beings goes offline, and what happens is our maladaptive caveman or reptile brain kicks in and takes over the show. The problem is that part of the brain, like I like to call it the caveman mind, doesn't know the difference between a saber-toothed tiger coming to kill you or, perhaps you're not getting the contract or not getting paid on time. It gives you that same level of threat that it's a life-threatening issue, when in actual fact it's not. So one of the things we can do here is understand the psychology of how we are hardwired from a primitive point of view. Our brains are like millions of years evolved, but our ancestors survived because of fear. If you wanna like really understand this, there's a great kids films called The Croods. Go watch that, because it's about a cave family and it shows you how they use fear and they live by fear, and it's kept them alive for so long until they had to evolve and change. So understanding fear is one part. The second part is actually questioning yourself to say, look, what am I actually worried about here? What's the worst thing that could happen? Now, earlier on today, one of my new assistants started with me, and it was her first day with me and first day with the camera crew. And I asked her how she was. She said, I'm not feeling very confident right now. When we went through that process, I explained to her that the confidence is either going to be down to her competence, or it's going to be there's some other fear or worry. So I asked her what was the worst thing that's going to happen. And she said maybe she blurts out the wrong thing or says something stupid. What's the worst thing about that? Maybe she's judged. What's the worst thing about that? Maybe she's going to feel like people think she's stupid. So it's a rational fear. It might seem irrational, but it's actually a rational fear, because the human mind wants to avoid pain. So when we spoke about it and when we understood what was actually causing it, it was based on a past experience, we was able to reframe that and get her back to a place where she was actually very comfortable about what she was doing. And the rest of the afternoon she's been skipping and in her element, her aura and her energy's changed, because she's out of the fear and she's now in the flow. So it's the same with entrepreneurs. If you have something that's causing you a fear based on a past experience, you got knocked, or you had a client that didn't pay you, or you weren't able to pay the staff wages, all these things are going to cause you some stress, which is fear. The antidote to this is faith. How can you sort this out? Because here's what happens with the mind. We get what we focus on. If we focus on more of the problems, we're going to get more of the problems. If we focus on the solution to the problem, our mind is then going to focus and filter for what the solution is. So this is one of the ways that we can handle stress from a mindset point of view, is by getting ourselves into a good emotional state. Now, this might be easier said than done. And this is something we teach guys inside of our academy, because it's too easy. And I've seen it before, where you've got guys that got, serious stress, they've got burnt out, they've got high blood pressure, it's affecting their health. If we don't get stress dealt with properly, it's going to lead you to an early grave and a heart attack, and that's no good for anyone. So it's important that we learn how to handle our stresses, which is understanding how to get out of the fear, and also to change our mindset or our belief system to more empowering beliefs. Other things that you can do, guys, is this, right? When we get stressed, what stress and fear does is it tends to create urgency in us. It's like, we've got to get it done, because we're in fight or flight, you know. We're thinking, hey, we just want to get this threat or this perceived threat out of the way. That's counterintuitive, right, to what I'm going to tell you now, which is, when I see people like this, the thing I tell them to do is go chill out. Go calm down and put this on the back burner, because you might not be able to sort anything out immediately, but you can get yourself into a good state, which is switch off and stop focusing on the problem and literally calm your nervous system down. Go take a walk, go take a hot bath, go to the gym if you like and go and work out in the gym, go for a run, go do something physical to burn off all that cortisol and adrenaline, you know, or go to a spa. Do something that's going to get you out of your head and into your body and like get your breathing down, because we can literally shift our emotional state by changing our breathing and moving our body. So, you know, these exercises that we can do, once they get you back into a calm place and your conscious mind comes back online, you can then think and come up with solutions for the problems. The other thing that you want to do, guys, is this. You want to get yourself around a good support group and a good support network, because when you're going through something, it's easy to think that you're the only person who thinks that or has that problem. When you go into a group, and especially this is one of the things that we see inside of our men's group, is that we've got guys that are openly sharing what their challenges are, what their problems are, and then you've got other guys going, oh, I'm glad you shared that because I thought it was just me. And, you know, that validates you, but it also takes, you know, the pressure off. It lets you off the hook to go, this is normal. These kind of challenges that you have, they're normal challenges of everyday business. So getting that kind of support from a peer group is important. And again, I can't stress this enough, right? Getting yourself some external support from a mentor, someone who can be a sounding board, someone who can be an accountability partner, or someone who's been through it before will give you a degree of comfort, because what that will do is help you to get out of the stress, get out of the fear, and get out of the overwhelm. Get yourself to a place where you're in a place of peace, and from that point, that's where you can think yourself out of the problem. You can come up with solutions and you can fix things. So look, there's some practical tips, guys, on what to do to sort your stresses out. Remember, if you're in a place of stress, you're not going to grow, you're not going to be happy, you're going to be in that place of just going around in circles. And I see so many business owners that get tired out and burnt out. It's not a good place to be. So learning how to master your fear, how to handle your thought processes and do practical things to get you into that place of peace will help your business to thrive, and also help you to have a much more balanced life. So guys, I hope you found this video useful. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, make sure that you put your comments and questions below. If you want to get some support on this kind of stuff, then come and join our free men's group. There's a link around this video, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Take care and bye for now.